Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the M2M session. So, this has really been on my mind for a while now, and I really want to talk to you about it. So, in case you're still struggling with porn, here's exactly what you need to do to stop struggling. But you see, before then, you need to understand that the reason why you are actually struggling with porn is not necessarily because you watched porn. No. But the reason why you are having difficulty preventing yourself from watching it over and over again is because it is living rent-free in your mind. Yes, the image, the thoughts, the idea of porn is living rent-free in your mind. It has become a stronghold on your mind. It has become one of your predominant thoughts. Because you see, the thoughts pattern of a man will determine the outcome of the man's life. The predominant mindset of a man will determine the daily activities that he commits himself to. That's why you can see somebody who thinks poor and he will remain poor. Somebody who thinks rich will be rich. Because your thoughts will attract to you what you desire. And your thoughts will inform your actions. So can you remember that very first day that you actually watched porn? Just try and remember that first day that you watched porn. I'm pretty sure that after watching porn like 1 or 2 or 3 times afterwards, the next time you were about to watch it, you told yourself, okay, just this last time, I won't watch again. And in fact, probably when you actually went to stop, you told yourself, okay, I'm not watching it again. I'm not definitely going to watch porn again. But you found yourself watching. Please let me just say this. If you actually enjoy watching porn and you see no reason with it, then I don't think you should be listening to this podcast. Because you see, vision will drive your action and it will inform your direction. Vision will drive your action and it will inform your direction. What do I mean by that? When you commit yourself to watching porn constantly, it emits some, should I say, enzymes? Yes, that's the word. Hormones, rather, sorry. I was looking for the word. Hormones. Watching porn releases hormones into your brain. It is actually equivalent to the same hormones that is released into your brain when you're hyperactive. Do you know what happens when you're actually hyperactive? You are at your peak performance. It's also similar to the hormones that is released in your brain for people that take weed, smoke and drink. They become hyperactive. You see people, they want to extra perform rather than bringing themselves into that position where they can normally perform beyond their normal circumstances. They turn to some artificial mediums like weed, which has some consequences. It is the same thing that happens when you watch porn. But you see, I'm sorry to say, I'm not encouraging people that smoke weed. But you see, the person that smokes weed to go and sing on stage is far better than the person that watches porn. Why? Because at least that person is making use of the hormones that have been secreted in his brain. But you see, you that is watching porn, when you watch it, what are you doing with that energy? There is a level of energy that has been activated in you. See, having sex requires energy. That's why it's called sexual urges. It is a drive. You're driving a vehicle. So when you watch porn, it activates your sexual urges. It produces a certain level of energy for you to have sex. But at that point, you're not having sex. The hormones, the desire, the sexual urges are being triggered. And what do you do afterwards? You waste the energy, you masturbate, and that's all. See, there is nobody, it's not possible. So don't say, okay, you're going to watch porn and then you're going to start doing some act. It's a lie. Sexual energy is released for the purpose of sex. So when you watch porn and you are producing sexual energy and you're not having sex, you're wasting energy. And this is why many young men have raped innocent girls. Why? Because they have a high level of concentrated porn stored up in their mindsets. They have a high level of porn concentrated, overflowing. So now there's excess energy unused. They've done masturbation, but they still do not feel satisfied. They still do not feel satisfied. So when they request sex from a young girl and she says no, you see, it turns to violence. That domineering spirit. See, it becomes domineering not because it happened that time, but because it has been stored up for a period of time. It did not start there. The cravings, the desire has been stored up for a long period of time. They've not been able to get what they wanted. So when they find the opportunity and they are all alone, they take advantage. Maybe you've been in that situation and you've taken advantage of a young girl. This is why you can hear of old men, uncles, people at the age of 30, 35, sleeping with young girls at the age of 5. Why? It sounds unreasonable, but it's happening. It's heartbreaking, but it is happening. Are you telling me that they are not satisfied with having sex with their wives? Okay, I mean, if a 35-year-old man wants to have sex and you're not married, oh God, they are prostitutes. Go and pick a prostitute and pay and marry. Why will you go and have sex with a 5-year-old? Should I say it is demonic? The amount of porn that has been stored up in their brain is making them and causing them to take actions beyond their control. So you see, a man is no longer acting based on his normal ability, but is acting based on the control of the mental stronghold that porn has gained upon himself. If a man does not know how to control himself, then he's useless. Yes, he is useless. Because no matter how strong you are, if you can conquer a territory, if you can conquer business, and you cannot conquer yourself, you will sleep with all of your staffs, even the married ones. If you enter politics, if you're in politics and you conquer that place, you win election, and you cannot conquer yourself, you cannot control yourself, you cannot control your sexual urges, you will take advantage of every lady that comes your way. You will use your political power to take advantage of every lady that comes your way. See, the change starts with you and I beg you, let the change start with you. Because you see, life is a seed. Whatever you sow, you would reap, directly or indirectly. If you find yourself in that position as the HR in a business firm, and you are the one telling a young girl who is coming to look for an opportunity to upgrade herself, and you are telling her that if she doesn't sleep with you, you will not give her the job, you are sowing a seed. Remember, you would either have a daughter, you will have a female cousin, you would have nieces. When it happens to them, do you think you would be able to say anything? Oh, I'm not talking about karma here. But you see, the golden principle of life states that whatever you would desire that men do to you, do to them. So the major reason why you are still struggling with porn is because it has become a stronghold in your mind. It has become your predominant thoughts. Probably it has gotten to the level. Please, there are actually different levels to these things. If you've gotten to the level where you no longer watch porn, but the images repeat, you can sit down on your own and the images repeat, they replay, please reach out to me. I may not be able to talk about what you need to do at that level, because that's a more dangerous level. Yes, at that level, you are even vulnerable to yourself. You can even harm yourself. Because at that level, you can become frustrated. That why is it that every single thing you're thinking about is sex? It will consume you. Yes, watching porn is an addiction. But you see, even in just like taking cocaine, there are levels to this addiction. I know people, and I've seen people that they cannot be satisfied if they don't have sex every day. There's a level where you get to in your addiction to pornography that you can't be satisfied if you don't watch porn every day. But that's not the level I'm talking about. That is the most critical level. I took in one of the podcast episodes, I think that was Conquering Masturbation and Pornography. I spoke about the various levels of pornography and masturbation. So you can look for that podcast and listen to it. You can look for that particular episode and listen to it. But this critical level I'm talking about is the level that you don't even need to watch porn. You can sit down and it plays. You can sit down and every single scene that you've watched before, it's just replaying in your head over and over and over and over again. See what porn does. The constant feeding of porn and the overflow of it makes you to lose vision for your life. The loss of vision is an abuse of action and a misappropriation of direction. Because with that vision, you would take the wrong actions. And you'll be heading towards the wrong direction in life. So your mindset will be beclouded. Rather than you being productive, you are not. If you are at that level, where you no longer need to watch porn, your mind has become a memory card of pornography, please reach out to me. My email, just send me an email and I'll help you deal with it immediately. My email address is anaiyan01@gmail.com. NG01, not ZERO, no, just numbers, just 01. Yes, the number 01@gmail.com. anaiyan01@gmail.com. So, back to what I was saying. So, we've established the fact that the reason why you are still struggling with porn is that it has become a mindset, it has become a predominant thought. So that desire to always watch porn is there and you keep going back to watch it. Your mind will remind you, I want to watch, I feel like watching lesbians, I feel like watching this, I feel like watching this. There are new porn sites and you're so curious to know what. It's as if you've not watched it. And wow. Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. It feels as if the ones you watched before, you're not satisfied, you will just want to watch more. Even the movies, you can be watching a movie, okay? You can be watching a movie. Now there are movies. I don't want to call names, but you know the names of the movies. Let me call names. I'm really not afraid of anybody. There are movies that you watch and the movies are porn movies. Porn movies, like they recently released 365 Days. The movie was trending and I was so curious about the movie. I have not watched the movie. A friend of mine watched the movie and I asked her. She told me that she wouldn't advise that. Of course, she knows the kind of person. She said she wouldn't advise that I watch the movie. I said, okay, no problem. But of course, out of curiosity, I wanted to know what's going on. And I picked up and I saw a friend's phone who had the movie. And I just flashed, because the way I've trained myself, you can't just give me you can't probably tell me to watch a movie and I watch the movie. That's why I'm very, very skeptical before I go to cinemas to watch movies. I'm very, very skeptical before I go to cinemas to watch movie. So probably the person has it on Netflix or has it on his or her phone. I'll just, fast forward to see the content of the movie before I watch. I don't just jump into entertaining myself with any junk. I protect the things I see. Your 5 senses are the windows of your life. Protect the things you hear. Protect the things you see. And I was just fast forwarding and I was just seeing rubbish. Just seeing rubbish. I'm like, oh, so this is why she said she didn't watch the movie. Just passed. But you see, some of you, you've watched, some of you, you've watched 50 Shades of Grey. You've also watched, I heard that the movie had like three parts or 2 parts. You've watched all the episodes of 50 Shades. And you are still not satisfied with what you've seen. You've even watched 365 days. You are still not satisfied with what you've seen. And you want more. You don't know why, but you want more. And you don't know that that's an addiction. See, whatever you cannot control yourself, whatever you constantly have appetite for, and you can't tell yourself no, that's an addiction. So some of you, you're struggling with porn and you don't know that you're struggling with porn. Your case is bad, but I can't help you. I can't help you until you want help. Help only comes to a person that identifies that he needs help and is ready for help. So what do you do to stop the struggles? What do you do to stop struggling with porn? The very first thing you need to do is you need to be conscious. And you need to admit that you are actually struggling. This is not the time for self-denial. Admit it that tell yourself the truth. Yes, I'm watching porn and I don't like the fact that I'm watching porn and I want to stop watching porn, but I cannot. Admit it. Then admit that you want help. Admit that you want help and you want to stop. Tell yourself, at this point, I need help. I really need to stop watching porn. Yes. Then the third thing for you to do is be careful of the things you see and hear. When I mean be careful, I'm not saying, hey, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do this. No. By be careful, I mean, now, I'm not talking about the porn movies now. By be careful, I mean, sit down with yourself and tell yourself the truth. That there are some movies that have sex scenes that you shouldn't actually watch. That there are some music videos I'm sure you did not know, but actually there are actually some music videos that are encouraging you to watch porn. So you would think that the reason why you are still struggling with porn is that you're watching. No. Maybe you've gone for therapy and they've told you what to do, but you found yourself going back. It is because you've watched some music videos that they showed some naked girls, or they showed some erotic scenes, and it triggered. Men, we are moved as men. We are moved by what we see. Me and you, we are moved by what we see. So you need to be careful of what you see. Yes. There are some music, you need to tell yourself the truth that actually, bro, there are some music videos I shouldn't be watching. I said be careful of what you see and what you hear. Now, there are also some things you shouldn't hear. Because let's be frank with ourselves, there are also some songs that encourage you to watch porn. Because these people sing about it. When you listen to a lyrics and the artist is singing about touching her waist, caressing her, having sex with her under the blue moon, what do you think you're doing to yourself? You are feeding yourself with thoughts. So you think that by just deleting and putting some blocks on your phone is what is making you struggle with porn? No, my brother. No, bro. Some of the songs you're paying attention to, some of the songs you're listening to are what is fueling your appetite to watch porn. You need to be careful of those things. Be careful of them. The third thing you need to be careful of is your association, your friends, the people you hang around with. If you hang around people that are full of profanity, they can easily talk about having sex with ladies. They can easily talk about, that girl has shape and everything. You need to be careful of them. Because they are also contributing to your struggles with porn. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Now, the fourth thing you need to do, if you're struggling with porn, you need to get an accountability partner. Yes. You need to get an accountability partner. There are some battles that you can't fight on your own. You need someone that can help you. You need someone that can put a check on you. You need someone that you can always report yourself to. A friend of like mind, someone that would draw your mind, that would draw your ear and tell you, bro, stop it. Someone that you can always report yourself to. Okay, bro, I'm trying to stop watching porn. And this is what I want to do. Please help me. Help me, check up on me at least once every week. Find out if I've watched porn or not. And you have to be frank. You have to be open with that person. Because you see, now you will be saying, you don't easily trust guys. Please let me just say this, guy, bro. If you have more female friends than you have more male friends, you are leading your life to a shipwreck. That's a conversation for another day. But your accountability partner under no circumstances shouldn't be a female, it should be a guy. It should be a guy. So, the next thing you should do after you've gotten an accountability partner is for you to actually be accountable to that person. Set up a structure. Okay? Set up a structure to be reporting and to be open to the person once a week. Let the person have access to your phone. If you are in the same city with the person, let the person have access to your phone. Porn thrives in secrecy. Porn thrives in privacy. Porn thrives in privacy. The more of your private life that is being invaded by your accountability partner, the more you are driving porn away from your life. Because you would start feeling, and let me just be frank with you. There are some point, you will get to a point when you feel some resistance. You feel some resistance. You may even feel ashamed. But hey, it is not you, it is the porn. Because remember, I started by saying that the porn has held a stronghold. It is living rent-free in your head. So you have to do a lot of things to eject it, to evict it from your mind. You have to shame it. And it is not you that is being shamed. It is actually the porn that is being shamed, not you. So each time you feel ashamed, like your accountability partner is invading your privacy, hey, it is not actually putting you to shame. It is that porn. You are exposing the porn. A criminal will never be caught as long as it is stealing in the secret. But let him go out in the open. Then SARS, SWAT team, the CIA, the FBI, the police, the soldiers, everybody would raid on it. Just to capture it. So that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Remember, that's why I started by saying that if you're listening to me and you don't see watching porn a problem, it's not for you. And you don't feel like you need help, it's not for you. Because your commitment to get help is what will fuel your action. It is what will fuel your actions to do the things I've already listed and told you to do. This particular podcast episode is something that you should actually listen to over and over again until you start doing it. I know of a truth that the first time you will listen to me, to this particular podcast, you will not do everything I've said. So I crave your indulgence. Listen to this particular podcast at least 3 times. At least 3 times. At least 3 times. Until you start doing. Help comes to those that take actions. Yes, help comes to those that takes action. Now finally, set structure, set boundaries. Set boundaries. The things I mentioned, number three, I said you should be aware, you should be careful of the things you see, the things you hear, and your association. Set boundaries to the things that you watch. Set boundaries to the things that you listen to. Set boundaries around your friends. You actually need to cut off from some people if they are not helping you. You actually need to stop watching some things if they are not helping you. Actually need to stop listening to some things if they are not helping you. That is also where your accountability partner comes in. Let him know the things you want to stop watching. Let him know the things you want to stop listening to. Let him know the things and the people you want to stop hanging around with. He will help you. He will put you in check. So that when next, in case you go back and do it, he can call you to order. He can rebuke you. He can reprimand you. And he can help you. So, I'm very confident that there's no how that you would do this. and you will not win the fight over porn. Because your life is actually important. But you see, when porn steps in and you become ignorant of how to deal with it, you will lose vision. The energy you should have been using for work, the energy you should have been using to be productive in life, you are wasting the energy watching porn and masturbating. You're wasting the energy stirring up sexual urges. Because you don't actually need porn to stop your sexual urges. You don't. So that energy can and should be used for something else, something much more reasonable. Because your life is important. But when you're ignorant, your importance will become impotent. So I beg of you, help yourself. You can do this. If I could conquer porn, you can also conquer porn. Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. Till I come your way again on M2M session, I remain my humble self, AI. Cheers.